now on your laptop, on your phone. That's at Dubai Eye 103.8 FM, because we've got a very special guest in the studio. We're going on Facebook Live right now.
Home or away?
On Afternoons with Helen Farmer.
Rub al Khali is also known as the Empty Quarter. It is the world's largest uninterrupted sandmass, encompassing most of the southern third of the Arabian Peninsula. And it's a landscape of ever-changing, endless dunes, made famous by exhibitions taken in the 30s and the 50s by Bertram Thomas, by Wilfred Fischer. Of course, there are Arab companions too. And delighted to be joined now in the studio by Max Calderan. He is a long-time Dubai resident, originally from Italy, who has just become the latest man to join that famous group. He only returned on Monday. Welcome back, sir. How are you feeling today? And congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here because finally I did it.
You did it. And this is, well, for context, how long was the trek and how long did it take?
You know, basically this was a pure exploration, the first ever done in the Empty Quarter on food. I was not in the footsteps of other big explorers. I opened a new, totally uncontaminated line that now the name will be Calderan line.
That's incredible.
Yes, that was starting from Najran area, arriving after 1,100 kilometers close to Saudi border in Shaiba oil field. So what I did was the first exploration ever done on the longest way when all the world was saying that was impossible. So they need to change the map of Rub al Khali, adding this new line.
Little ... where Max walked. But you must have had people then telling you, as you say, going against the advice of the world, of everyone from tribesmen to people in the health field, saying this isn't a sensible or safe thing to do. But you've wanted to do this since you were a child. How did you first come up with this idea?
I think that when you are a child, you have the capability to be a dreamer. Then the life is going to push you in another direction. But if the dream was very strong, was pure and genuine, you will keep within your heart always this desire. And what's happened after 46 years? That the dream came true. Because I was 7 years old, I was living in Italy, my mother bought an encyclopedia, and this encyclopedia, you have to know, in Italy, I was stopping reading in a page that was talking and describing the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, was talking and describing the Rub al Khali desert, the biggest sand desert all over the world. It was written that also the camels were scared to move inside, and the migratory birds, they were taking diversion instead to cross straight the Rub al Khali. So I drew a painting, a picture, and I went to my mother, saying to my mother in 1974, "Hey, Mom, I'll be the first man that will be capable to cross the Rub al Khali."
And 46 years later, you're just back.
Yeah.
How many days did it take you to do that 1,100-kilometre route?
16 days.
16 days.
16 days. And it's not only a matter of days, because the exploration is totally different from a sports event. The exploration has the biggest question mark ever. I will be a survivor. I will a survivor. Or Rub al Khali will decide to stop me and my life in the middle of his sands. So this is more or less the difference.
It was you against the desert. And did it feel at any points like the desert was going to win?
You know, Rub al Khali in particular, because he's, I can say, is something strange, Rub al Khali. Rub al Khali is secrets. Rub al Khali is legends. A lot of people still are searching the legendary city of Hiram of the Pillar. We don't know if there is water. We don't know if there is all the history related with the jinn and the ghosts and a lot of other things. Rub al Khali is a very pleasant and marvelous place until it isn't. If he decides to stop you, he will stop you. After the first 2-3 days, Rub al Khali gave us a sandstorm. It was a small appetizer of sandstorm. It was only an overnight sandstorm. But in that night, I was totally alone. I wasn't capable to reach the waypoint that we already agree that could be a meeting point of me and my desert team. And what's happened in the morning, when during the night I was capable to arrive to them, the cars were almost yeah, absolutely. And from that day, we understood that the only way to cross the Rub al Khali was asking the permission. Dear Rubalcali, we understood your power. Please be so kind. From now, we will be very humble person, and me, I will be a very humble explorer.
So you're asking this to be a gift from the desert to you, to allow you to cross it. Now, we should say that you're not inexperienced when it comes to undertaking amazing challenges like this. You've previously held 11 world records, including running for 90 hours straight across Oman, covering 365 kilometres of Wahiba sands in 75 hours. But how was this challenge different? As you said, it's not sport, it was about exploration. And how did that change your mindset?
I tell you something. Of course, I am the best prepared. Of course, I'm suffering a lot during my very hard and heavy training. But the difference about talking about the mind is that the power of the mind cannot destroy, cannot do nothing in front of 1,000 of sands, because the desert, especially Rubalcali, if he wants, he can kill you in 5 minutes. That's the truth. So you have to switch off your mind and start to believe. To believe in what? To believe that you came from the same place, from the nature, from the origin. So you are a son of these lands. And have you ever do something like to do something bad in front of your mother? No. So you need to use respect, and so your mind at the end has to be transformed in love for what you are doing for your mother.
Now, you've said before, obviously you're in the best physical shape you could be. You had your mindset exactly on point for taking this challenge on. You've also said in the past that your body produces naturally very low levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Do you feel like that was an integral part of the trip?
Yes, you have to know, I spent part of my life in pharmaceutical company. Then I opened my own laboratory of genetic, gut flora analysis and so on. And this was very helpful for me. Mm-hmm. But remember, one thing is to have a genetic predisposal in order to produce less low level of cortisol. One thing is to have the capability, the discipline for 46 years to do daily something in order that is a power, that is still a power, but is not a fact, could in any case develop itself in the way of the capability to cross a so complicated desert.
We're in conversation this afternoon. Max Calderan is literally just back 48 hours ago from crossing the empty quarter, 1,100 kilometres in 16 days. And it's an absolute honour to be in conversation with him. If you have any questions, do get in touch now on 4001. The ARN Play app is there for you too. And I've got so many questions for Max, everything from what did he eat to, of course,